Peace, peace. Beautiful, wonderful day today. Sun is shining. Lionsgate portal is opening. Wonderful to be alive. All right. Go ahead and set vibrational frequency this morning. Hey, good morning. All right. I got my big stone with me here from Ghana. They call this glass. So I got it out today. For abundance. For abundance, because that's what's coming to us, y'all. All right. So let's get into it. Right now, if you look at the news, you are going to see just mass amounts of trauma triggering. Talking about from the virus to the fires that are going on to political discourse. Andrew Cuomo just resigned to just all of these things. And all of these things, right, that they're saying to us, or that we're seeing that is present, we have to remember that these things are largely coming through from the media. Okay, they're largely coming through from the media. Now, some of us, we're having those conversations and things with our friends, but most of it, we're getting it from the media. We're getting it from these sources. If we weren't getting it from these sources, what would life be like? If we weren't getting updates on Afghanistan and the war that's going on and all of the riots that are going around, right? What would life be like if it was just our life? When you start to think about that, what's going to happen is that you're going to start to realize that things are more peaceful in your sphere of influence and your actual sphere of concern than what the powers that be are promoting. Okay. Now, why is this happening? Why is all this trauma triggering going on? Because if you trigger someone negatively, and you get them to go into a low vibration, so we're talking about shame and guilt and anger and fear, right? When we can get someone down into that thing, they're easily controlled, largely because the way that your brain works is that in the rear part of your brain stem, that is where you have your primal responses: fear, flight, freezing. This is in the back of the brain. So literally, when we see things that cause us to become afraid, or they cause us to become, very angry or excited, the blood in your head goes to the back of your brain. Now that's where that's activated. That part is activated. And that's what you're thinking about. Midbrain is where you have more of your relationships, your higher conceptual things. The front brain is really high conceptual, right? Prefrontal cortex. So for us to be able to think through things in a intelligent manner, to be cognizant of the emotional states of others, to be connected relationally, and to access higher functioning ability, we have to use the middle and front of our brain. So all of this trauma triggering is doing that. And what I have to say about that is this has to do with integration, okay? The integration of thought, the integration of frequency. Now, lots of things have frequency, okay? Thoughts have frequency. Food has frequency. Music has frequency. We have frequencies. We're giving off energy in our auric fields. That's why when you walk into a room or you get in a car with somebody, before they say anything, or even before you see any nonverbal communication things, you already can feel their energy, right? You can feel. You ever just meet someone and you just got this good vibe about them, right? They're emanating positivity, okay? They're emanating positivity in their auroric fields. You step into that field and you're like, oh man. He didn't give you any clue, but you felt them. So we're giving this off. And we're receiving frequency. Now, if we receive higher vibrational frequency, okay, that of love and joy and peace and acceptance, enlightenment, connection to divine source, connection to Mother Earth. When we receive those things, when we receive foods of goodness, right? In yogic practice, they break down foods into 3 different parts: the foods of ignorance, the foods of passion, and the foods of goodness. Okay. They don't tell anybody you can't eat that, you can't do that, you can't do that. They just say, we're going to explain what each one of them do, and then you make the choice. Foods of goodness integrate into the system, into the body, and allow you to stay or to go into a higher vibrational field. Foods of passion stimulate your passions. So they'll make you more whatever, more intense, more horny, more, all of those things will be stimulated. More lust, more materialism, right? These foods taste really, really good. And then you have foods of ignorance. All right. This is the processed poison. All right. This is food that not a food of goodness or of passion, but it's going to be something that's going to be destructive to you. So if you integrate those things into your system is going to respond in a matter that's according to the vibration that you've integrated into it. It's like putting a game cartridge. Back in the day, we had game cartridges. Putting a game cartridge into a system. Whatever game you put in is what you played. Whatever music you listen to is the vibration that you'll be on. So if I'm listening to music that's a whole bunch of chaos, negativity, um, stuff I ain't really trying to get on or I don't want to be on anymore. I'm listening to a lot of heartbreak music, a lot of love music, heartbreak music, talking about cheating and break your heart and messed up relationships. Then we find ourselves in messed up relationships, wondering why we in messed up relationships, because that's what we integrated into our system vibrationally. Then we started to vibrate that out. And there's a universal energetic law that what you give out is what come back to you. That's just how it works. It's in every spiritual system that exists because it's just a truth. What you give out is what you get back. All right. So that was the foundation. That was the intro. How do we transmute negativity to positivity? And right now, the moon is in Scorpio, okay? And that's all about alchemy. That's all about, the wizard. That's all about the magic, right? That's all about deep spiritual, emotional, like Scorpio goes deep. Scorpio's about transformation, right? Since the moon is in Scorpio, this is a great time. I think, if my timing is right, I believe it's going to transition into Leo at about 4 o'clock Eastern time. That could be wrong. Check your moon phase. But as Scorpio, right? The moon is in Scorpio. As Scorpio energy is emanating, it's a great time to transmute things. And here's what I mean by transmute. I want to use the example of nature in a field. Not just any field, but a garden. So you're in your garden and you've planted seeds, and now those seeds have, grown. And you get some fruit. And you look at the fruit. And the fruit is rotten. The fruit is full of worms. Squirrel gonna come by and ate half the fruit. All right. What are you gonna do with that fruit? You gonna go throw it in the trash can? You gonna eat it? Integrate it into your system? No. I go throw it into the trash can. You just go into a landfill. You're not gonna eat it because it's full of worms and it's rotten. What you're gonna do is you're gonna compost it. And put it back into the field. You're gonna put it to your compost heap. So as that breaks down that fruit, it replenishes the soil. All right. Compost heap is full of nutrients because it's broken down plant material. Or broken down whatever, eggshells, what everybody's throwing in there. But all of that stuff, as it decays and it rots and it goes through this nasty process, right? Including with, fungi and bacteria and animals and worms, insects coming in, eating it and this, decaying it. It transmutes, it changes, right? Form. Energetically, it still has energy, the energy of the fruit, the life-giving energy of the fruit. But now it's in the form of soil. Understand? It's in the form of something that can feed the next intention, the next seed, the next thought vibration. You understand? So, now taking this example of fruit in the garden, the same things can happen with negativity that comes into our lives. When we pick up something, where we had an intention or maybe we were sending out a particular vibration that wasn't on a higher vibration, and then we get back this negative stuff that happens to us, or just negativity is there, and we've integrated it into our thought vibrations, and so we're in a lower vibration, right? We have to come back to us. We can't be blaming everybody. So and so did this, so and so did this, so and so did. Yes, they influenced you, but when your thought vibrations are your thought vibrations, you can change them. You can transmute them. So you got to empower yourself and say, this is me. I'm in control. I have power over this. Then you will. So when you say that, it's okay, I have power over this thing. And I said, I'll take this trauma. I'll take this virus. I'll take this hard, difficult time. And I'll put myself in a high vibrational state as I think about it. How do you do that? Think about someone who you're grateful for. I think about my grandmother, okay? She's in her 90s. I grew up with her. And she has just so much love and so much stability, and just she's a Capricorn, so she's real grounded. And I just think about her, and I think about the love that we share between each other. We'll have that forever here on this plane and ancestral realm. So I'm just so grateful that this energetic being who is her, that we've been able to engage with each other in the way that we have, and then she's in my life. And so I think about her, and I get in a high vibration. So in that high vibration, now I can focus and think about the thing, right? The thing that was there before. As I think about the thing, that nasty, rotten fruit, right? Whatever it is that's coming to my life. Now I can think about that from a different perspective. Instead of being right here next to it, now I'm at this place and I'm looking at it, and you'll be able to see that there's more than meets the eye to these things, that we label them certain ways, good or bad or negative or positive, but that there's duality to what is going on. There's always duality. There's always light and dark. There's always male and there's always masculine and feminine. There's always positive and negative. So as you look at it from that perspective, you'll be able to see a positive. You'll be able to see positives. All right. I had contracted COVID. I don't know. Look, there goes again. I manifest that cough. About maybe 3 weeks to a month ago. It affected me. It was rough. It was tough. It was difficult. It affected me neurologically. It affected my peripheral nervous system. I'm dealing with the damage that it caused. Now, someone would look at that and say, well, that's negative, brother. That's a negative. That's bad. I'm sorry for you. And I'm like, no, having COVID was an amazing experience. They're like, what? I'm like, no, I needed to get COVID. It helped me to understand some things. It did some things within my body, which now I'm healing from. Yes. But because I'm healing from them, I'm going to be able to help other people heal from them. And because I'm going through this struggle, it's building my character, you see. And even the damage that it caused, right, the temporary damage, because it's not going to stay. Like right now, my feet don't have as much feeling in them. Well, I do barefoot training. So I'm walking. So this is actually a plus for me because I get to walk on all kinds of tough stuff and toughen up my feet without even going through the pain. Right? You see what happens? You start thinking about it from a higher vibration. So I'm thinking about how I can help, how this is actually me going through this, because people are now they'll pay attention to what I have to say about it because they know that it's affected me, it's damaged me. I went through 103, 104 fever and could waking up wheezing in the night, and through holistic means was able to defeat it and beat it, not be hospitalized, not use pharmaceuticals. I'm not saying that for everybody, and everybody's going to be able to do that. I'm not saying don't go to the hospital. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying for me, I've been working at that for 18 months. So when I've been working and building up my body, building up my immune system, building up my lung capacity, learning about herbs. And so when it happened, it was the culmination of what I had been working for. I had to be tested, right? It's the tests. You went to school, you didn't learn, you didn't study, you didn't practice and practice and practice. And finally, universe gave me my final exam. Boom. You don't get every answer right, but I passed. And I passed with high marks because I came out of that thing on a high vibration. I'm coming out of this thing better than what I was before. It's even pushing me forward in my soul purpose, y'all. So this cough ain't nothing for me to be ashamed or guilty or afraid of. This cough has been transmuted into a beautiful unfolding. And the same thing, the same energy, you have that same power. All right. From the childhood trauma, I live in Baltimore City in the hood. Lost friends, little brothers, sisters, through disease, through murder. Stuff ain't easy. It's really, really not here. So I learned how to transmute all of that pain and trauma and focus my mind not on it. You have to process it, go through the stages of grief. But after you go through them process, or while you're going through them, getting yourself into high vibration, allowing the love to unfold and manifest. And it's a beautiful life, y'all. All right, y'all. This is Brother Josh. Just want to say to you, peace and blessings, power, light and love. And I hope you have an amazing day or night or whenever you're listening to this. All right. 1.